Hello, once again, I am Severo Talipo, a PhD student of the School of Advanced Education of Mountain Province State Polytechnic College. In this video, I am going to present my report entitled Collaborative Approaches in Language Education, Building Partnership in Inclusive Education, a requirement in the subject Advanced Curriculum Development and Policy Planning in Language Education. Let's get started. In the ever-evolving landscape of language education, collaboration stands as a linchpin, a catalyst that propels learners beyond the confines of traditional pedagogy. Scholars have underscored the transformative impact of collaborative approaches on linguistic and communicative competence, cultural understanding, and real-world language proficiency. This report embarks on an exploration of the profound significance of collaboration in language education, unraveling its layers as a dynamic force that enriches the learning experiences. Collaborative learning, as elucidated by Swine, extends beyond mere group activities. It is a nuanced process that mirrors authentic communication scenarios, providing learners with the tools to negotiate meaning, share perspectives, and refine language use through interactive dialogue. This immersive journey not only imparts practical language skills, but also sets the stage for a holistic understanding of language that transcends the traditional classroom setting. As we delve into the discourse and collaboration, it becomes imperative to intersect this narrative with the overarching concept of inclusive education in language curriculum. Inclusive education, a pedagogical paradigm that champions equitable learning opportunities for all, aligns seamlessly with the collaborative ethos. As Ferry and Connor posit, inclusivity in education strives to eliminate barriers, ensuring every learner can actively participate and succeed. This report, therefore, embarks on a nuanced exploration of collaborative approaches in language education, dissecting its impact on interpersonal communication skills, cultural awareness, and cognitive development. Simultaneously, it delves into the integral connection between collaboration and inclusive education, weaving a narrative that positions both as essential pillars for creating an enriched and equitable language learning environment. Let me begin now with building partnership to foster inclusive education. Fostering inclusive education in language programs requires intentional efforts to build partnership with a diverse range of stakeholders. Fostering with educators, parents, community organizations, and advocacy groups is essential to creating an inclusive environment that addresses the diverse needs of learners. Here are strategies for building partnerships to promote both language education and inclusivity. First, inclusive curriculum development with educators. Collaborate with educators to develop inclusive language curricula that incorporates diverse cultural perspectives, address multiple learning styles, and accommodate various abilities. Regular professional development sessions can facilitate discussions on inclusive teaching strategies and the adaptation of materials to meet the needs of all learners. Second, engage parents and caregivers in inclusive practices. Involve parents and caregivers in the development of inclusive practices by organizing workshops and information sessions that focuses on supporting diverse learners in language education. Establishing open communication channels and seeking input from parents can contribute to the creation of an inclusive and supportive language learning environment. Third, collaborate with special education professionals. Partner with special education professionals to address the needs of learners with diverse abilities. Develop co-teaching models, inclusive classroom practices, and individualized support plans that facilitate the participation and success of all students in language education. Fourth, establish community partnership for inclusive language learning. Forge partnerships with local disability advocacy groups, community organizations, and cultural institutions to create inclusive language learning opportunities outside the classroom. Collaborative projects can include events, workshops, and resources that cater to a wide range of learners, fostering a sense of belonging for everyone in the community. And fifth, advocate for inclusive policies with administrators. Work closely with school administrators to advocate for policies that support inclusive language education. This may involve securing resources for assistive technology, ensuring physical accessibility, and implementing policies that promote a diverse and inclusive learning environment. Let us now move on to collaborations to promote inclusive language education. Successful collaborations to promote inclusive language education often involve partnerships between educational institutions, community organizations, and advocacy groups. Here are examples of successful collaborations. First, community language learning centers. Establishing community language learning centers in collaboration with local community organizations can provide additional resources and support for language learners. These centers can offer tutoring, language workshops, and cultural events to cater to the diverse needs of learners from various backgrounds. Second, inclusive curriculum development workshops. Collaborative workshops involving educators, curriculum specialists, and diversity experts can lead to the development of inclusive language curricula. These workshops can focus on integrating diverse cultural perspectives, incorporating accessible materials, and adapting teaching strategies to address the needs of learners with varying abilities. Third, parents and caregiver involvement programs. Successful collaborations often involve creating programs that actively engage parents and caregivers in language learning process. These include regular workshops on supporting diverse learners, informational sessions on inclusive practices, and forums for parents to share experiences and insights. Fourth, cross-disciplinary professional development. Collaborations between language educators and professionals from other disciplines, such as special education, can lead to the implementation of effective cross-disciplinary teaching strategies. Professional development sessions that address the unique needs of diverse learners can enhance the overall inclusivity of language education. Fifth, accessible language learning resources. Collaboration with publishers, technology developers, and disability advocacy groups can result in the creation of accessible language learning resources. This includes materials in various formats, such as audio, visual, and tactile, to accommodate different learning styles and abilities. Sixth, language immersion programs in the community. Collaborative efforts with local businesses, cultural institutions, and community organizations can lead to the development of language immersion programs. These programs provide students with real-world language experiences and opportunities to interact with native speakers, fostering linguistic and cultural inclusivity. Seventh, collaborative research projects. Collaborative research projects involving educators, researchers, and community members can contribute valuable insights into effective inclusive language education practices. Research findings can inform curriculum development, teaching methods, and policies that promote inclusivity. And number 8, advocacy campaigns for inclusive policies. Collaborating with advocacy groups to launch campaigns for inclusive language education policies can bring about systemic change. This may involve advocating for increased funding, policy adjustments to support diverse learners, and development of guidelines for inclusive language education practices. These examples demonstrate that successful collaborations in inclusive language education involve a combination of efforts from educators, parents, community organizations, and policymakers to create a supportive and accessible learning environment for all students. Now let us move on to the interdisciplinary approaches to language education. Interdisciplinary approaches to language education involve integrating language learning with content from various academic disciplines, fostering a more comprehensive and interconnected learning experience. This integration enhances the effectiveness of language programs by providing learners with meaningful and contextually rich language experiences. Here are key interdisciplinary approaches to language education. Number 1. Content-based language instruction. Content-based language instruction integrates language learning with content from other academic subjects, such as science or social studies. This approach ensures that language is acquired in relation to real-world content, making the learning experience more engaging and applicable. Number 2, language across the curriculum. Language across the curriculum emphasizes language development across various subjects, encouraging collaboration among educators from different disciplines. This interdisciplinary approach enhances language instruction by providing learners with opportunities to use language within specific content areas. Third, project-based language learning. Project-based language learning involves collaborative projects that integrate language skills with content from multiple disciplines. This approach not only reinforces language proficiency, but also develops critical thinking and problem-solving skills through the exploration of real-world challenges. Fourth, culturally responsive language teaching. Incorporating cultural elements from various disciplines into language lessons promotes cultural competence alongside language proficiency. This interdisciplinary approach ensures that language learners gain insights into diverse cultural contexts, making their language skills more versatile. And fifth, media literacy in language education. Integrating media literacy into language instruction allows learners to critically engage with language in various forms, such as advertisements, films, and news articles. This interdisciplinary connection exposes learners to authentic language usage in different media contexts, enhancing their language skills. In summary, interdisciplinary approaches to language education offer a more holistic and interconnected learning experience. By integrating language learning with content from various disciplines, learners not only acquire language skills, but also gain a deeper understanding of language in diverse and authentic contexts. To conclude, I'd like to remind you that in this report, I underscored the transformative potential of collaborative approaches in language education. By building partnership, embracing inclusive practices, and integrating interdisciplinary approaches, educators can create a dynamic and equitable language learning environment that prepares students for the complexities of our interconnected world. As language education continues to evolve, a commitment to collaboration and inclusivity will remain fundamental in shaping the future of language learners. Thank you once again. I am Severo Talipo, signing off.